Have you been told you need to stop doing what you love, whether it's exercise, running, or a sport? Well, here at Dynamic, we don't like that answer. In this podcast, we'll talk to leaders in the health and wellness space from Southwest Florida to get the solutions you need to get you back to doing what you love. Welcome to the Dynamic Naples Podcast. What's going on, Naples? Today I have Coach Sammy Callari, and I have something to fess up. We just did a whole Zoom meeting podcast, and apparently I didn't record. So I just burned a good half hour of his time, and he's gracious enough to come back on and redo it. So anyways, Sammy, welcome to the podcast. Second time around.
Yes, sir. Take two. Glad to be here. Thank you for having me.
All right. It is recording. Yes, I can see it recording. Okay, Sammy. So I already know everything, but go ahead and tell us a little about your background, what got you into fitness, and what does you do?
Yes, sir. So I am a certified personal trainer. I am a Great Oaks Country Club employee. I'm a trainer there and also their boxing coordinator. So I run the boxing program there that we've established. I am certified under the NSCA. I have my CSCS, Certified Strength and Conditioning Specialist. I have a background in various martial arts, did a little mixed martial arts competitions a few years ago, looking to get back into a boxing fight, hopefully soon. And got into fitness because I've been an athlete my whole life, various sports. And I love the way you can change your body, you can change your mood, your lifestyle. And now I'm able to do that for other people now and help them with their journey. So that is my story in a nutshell.
Cool. Yeah. And I want to get into your story about how you got into martial arts and how you basically, so if I understood the first time around, you signed up to fight with no fighting background. Is that right?
Nothing. No wrestling in high school. We didn't have it. No football. We didn't have that either. And so I did it for my brother, with my brother. Like I said before, is just we didn't really do things together growing up. We always did things opposite. He played basketball, I played baseball. I had Xbox, he had GameCube, that kind of thing. So he already had one fight under his belt. He's my younger brother. And so I asked him, I said, hey, I'd like to fight. And he tried to talk me out of it. He's like, you saw what happened in my first fight. I lost in less than a minute, this and that. I trained a whole year. I said, listen, I want to try it. I got to try it. Let me just do it. So I was 20 years old, college baseball. I didn't really have too much of a career there. I was just kind of being on the team about it. But, I talked him into it. He calls the promoter right there on the spot and says, hey, can you get my brother ready for a fight? Can we do in 4 months? That's our next card. My brother's like, yeah, let's do it at 155 pounds. And my brother wanted to be on that fight card too at $170. And we trained every day for the next 4 months. We had 4 months to get ready for it. A lot of basement training, a lot of hardwood floors at gyms that we could get into, whatever we had to do to get it done, we did. And we definitely grew as brothers. And so that fight, I remember it was in April 2011, and I was the first fight of the night, and I ended up winning by split decision. I mean, I was even counting myself out because I was like, who just takes a fight on 4 months, no experience, just gets in there and wants to punch another man in the face as he's doing the same thing to me. A lot of heart, a lot of hard work. And then my brother also fought that night, and he won by a second round knockout. So we left that arena, hands over each other's shoulders, one of the best feelings I've ever experienced. And so we're like, let's keep doing this. So it led into us getting into a very nice gym in Mentor, Ohio, led by 2 UFC vets, and just an arsenal of different, amateur and pro fighters. And we built a lot of relationships, and just our skill level just started to climb. Made a little name for ourselves. They nicknamed us the Callari Killers, and nice. It was awesome. So, I ran into a little bit of head trauma, a couple concussions, and that kind of knocked me out of the sport. I was an amateur fighter, 3-2 fight record. So at least I finished with a winning record to say that.
Nice.
And, we just, that was my martial arts, career. So.
Do you have to deal with anything with the concussions? Do you get headaches or anything like that?
I don't get headaches per se. Sleeping has been over the past couple of years something I've really, I was wearing the Whoop strap on my wrist. Dealt with a lot of different supplements, and I think over the last year I've gotten really under control. I've really monitored my sleep. I don't know if it's just life, like this just happens. I forget things. I sometimes stutter. Is that just life, or is it, from the concussions? I don't really know. Yeah. So, like I said, I don't have headaches. I don't have head problems, no pain, nothing like that. So, knock on wood, I'm good. I got back into boxing, so I have been sparring. So I've been taking those, a few hits, always wearing headgear now, mouthpiece. We're very safe. We're very cautious. And we're working a lot of defense now. So,
nice. So what helped with the sleep? Was it just managing it? Was it prioritizing it? Like, what was there something that really clicked for you?
I've changed a lot of things. I have blackout curtains. I sometimes sleep under a weighted blanket, making sure that the temperature in my room is, in the mid 60s. I tried different supplements like melatonin and stuff like that. I wasn't really too big on it. I've been seeing, Jeff Delaney at T Clinics USA. He's been helping me with some I don't know what to call it, helping me with my sleeping. So I've been seeing him for some advice, and a few other things, but what I'm looking for is that deep REM sleep. I want to wake up energized. I want to wake up fresh, 7 to 9 hours of sleep, and so that's kind of what I've been focusing on with that.
Yeah, that's such like a hole in so many people's training, and orthopedically on my end, it's like low hanging fruit. Like so many people sleep so poorly, and I simply just have them track their sleep and their pain, and you'll just notice a trend. It's like, oh, I slept for 4 or 5 hours all week last week, and now my pain is through the roof. So it's definitely like one of the, I was gonna say, easiest things to address. It's hard to fix, but if you can, it's right there for you. So that's I'm glad you mentioned that.
Yeah.
Cool. So we were talking before, you kind of got into some other special needs groups that you work with.
Yes. So I'd probably say 6 years ago is when we met. I was training I was asked to train a young boy. His name is Parker. He has become my little brother. And we met at a gym down here in Naples. And his trainer that he was working with at the time was going out of town. So they asked me if I would cover the session. And I had never worked with anybody, with a disability before, special needs. So I was excited. I was anxious. I didn't know what to expect. I talked a little bit with his mom before of keeping his attention span. You got to keep him engaged and active. And so I remember going to Publix on our way to our first session, and I was just grabbing like Nerf football, anything I can to just, if boxing wasn't going to work, what did I have to do? And I remember my very first session with him to this day. I didn't need to use any of those other tools that I brought. We boxed the whole entire time. We played on the heavy bags and stuff like that. And I just remember leaving that session on my way home so happy. Like I didn't know what just hit me. Like I was so excited, and I was just given like this huge burst of energy. And I'm like, what did this boy do to me? I think Park was 13 at the time. And I just remember the feelings that I had. And so every time I worked with him, the same kind of feelings and emotions would come back, and we connected. I mean, he was so positive to me. I was going through some things at that time in my life, and he was an outlet, and he helped me a lot. And we've stuck together. We're brothers now, as he'd like to say. And so what we call each other, we're brothers till this day. I'm actually at his, where he works now with his family. And so we just got done training. And I probably cannot repay him for the things that he has done for me and shown me in my life. He's taught me way more about life and life lessons than I could ever teach him in terms of exercise and fitness. And he's a huge inspiration to me in my life. And a lot of people see that, through my social media feeds, of what he's done for me and other people.
That's incredible. And that's a gift that you have, that you gain that energy out of that. That's so awesome. Yeah. I mean, I know what you mean. Like it definitely goes both ways, right? I've definitely had patients that are like an energy vampire, pull the energy out of me, but there's definitely those ones that just fill you up and feel like, this,
Yeah.
you're doing the right thing, and they make your
Yeah.
day. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Nice. All right. And you also had mentioned some Parkinson's patients, right?
Yes. So I'm the boxing coordinator at Gray Oaks, and I work with a few people that have Parkinson's, and my niche is boxing and martial arts and stuff like that. So I'm working on developing a Parkinson's program there, looking to get Rocksteady certified very soon. They have a fantastic certification course and organization that I love it. And so I'm working with a few people there in terms of boxing. And for those that aren't familiar, with Parkinson's is, the symptoms kind of vary, from footwork and trembling, to the rigidity of the limbs, not being to extend muscles. So even vocal cords, for some people, it's hard for them to speak. And so boxing is a way that I can work with footwork, ladder drills, punching, being able to extend the arms, working their core as they're punching. It's a stress release. They leave a lot better, like their mood changes. There's just so many benefits that boxing gives to people with Parkinson's. It's phenomenal. And, that's something else that I'm working on right now.
What is that Rocksteady program? I haven't heard of that one.
So Rocksteady Boxing, the co-founder of it, I believe he was in his late 30s, early 40s when he was diagnosed with Parkinson's disease. So extremely young. And I believe he was working with a trainer at the time, and they were boxing, if I got the story correct. And he just felt so much better after the boxing session that then they pretty much formed, this whole program. So they have, where they work with gyms. And I know the boxing gym that I go to now, Sweet Science, they're under Rocksteady Boxing. So they have classes just for people with Parkinson's, which is awesome. It's phenomenal.
That's very cool. Yeah, I definitely have to check that out. So that's a certificate that you will get, basically?
Yeah, it's a certification.
Oh, that's awesome. Nice.
Yeah.
Well, what else? I guess I did mention before about that study out of Japan that found, I think it was just done last year, that a lot of Parkinson's patients are deficient in hydrogen. So they gave them hydrogen-infused water and dramatically reduced their symptoms.
That's awesome.
Yeah, pretty wild stuff.
It's awesome.
I'll definitely put that in the show notes. Cool. Well, where else do you train? So I know we talked a little bit about Paradise Cove, but that was just something you were doing for an event, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So pretty much I'm a full-time employee trainer at Gray Oaks. So my training is private. Unfortunately, people from the public can't come in and work with me. Parker is the only one that I train, public, but if people would want my help or they have a question or they just want to be pointed in the right direction, I know we talked about Chad Rogers. I respect him a lot as a trainer and the content he puts out. If I can point somebody in the right direction, I will do that. Like I said, my brother's also, he's an online personal trainer. I don't really do any of that. But I can point them towards him if they're looking for, somebody cut from the same cloth as me. But if anybody has any help or, they want to do a little bit of online training, I am more than happy to help. They can reach me on my Facebook, Sammy Callari, or Instagram. Sammy Callari is my handle. So whatever I can do to help, I will try my best to do that.
Okay. That sounds great. Really appreciate that. Once again, sorry about the previous podcast.
All good. No problem.
All right, Sammy. Well, I really appreciate it. Naples, we'll talk to you next week. Hit me up with any questions. Chris@dynamicnaples.com.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thanks again. Do you have unexplained pain? Or do you wonder just how healthy you are? When was the last time you had your blood tested? Blood chemistry analysis is a great way to stay ahead of any health conditions. And now you can have control of your health with Let's Get Checked. Let's Get Checked is an incredible company that sends blood tests to your home. You can choose from over 30 different tests, whether that's liver function, testosterone, micronutrient, cholesterol, or C-reactive protein, which is a marker for inflammation. It's sent to you with free shipping, and you get results in 2 to 5 days, no physician referral needed. Use the code DPT20 for 20% off. Go to letsgetchecked.com and use the code DPT20. Did you know that you can get started with physical therapy without a physician's referral? Physical therapists don't just solve pain, we get down to the root cause and keep it from coming back. We also discuss all things health, such as nutrition and lifestyle changes. If you feel that you could use some help, let's get on a free consult call. Go to www.dynamicnaples.com and sign up for a free call. Also, if you like this podcast, please give us a rating wherever you listen to podcasts. It helps us spread the message. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next week.